Welcome back to this special edition of Hannity. Tonight, we have yet another Democratic scandal to bring you. Fox News has confirmed that Democratic Congressman Bob Brady is being investigated by the FBI for his potentially unlawful involvement in a scheme to pay his 2012 primary opponent $90,000 to drop out of the race. Brady has yet to be charged, but the FBI has executed a search warrant of the congressman's AOL email accounts with probable cause to believe that he committed election law violations. Joining us now with more is Salem Radio nationally syndicated host Larry Elder and Fox News contributor Kevin Jackson. All right, good evening, gentlemen. I must tell you that I know someone who years ago offered a job to a primary opponent in a state assembly race in New York. And as a result of that, he was indicted, and he ended up going to jail. Now, if it is true that Brady did this, what should happen to him, Larry?
He should go to jail, of course. But, Judge, this is about Philadelphia. This is one of the most corrupt cities in the country. You have the DA who's just been indicted on 23 counts of corruption. You have the majority of the traffic cops that have been convicted of charges. They've got people on city council on tape discussing bribes. It's one of the most corrupt cities in America. So I suspect the congressman is just following the role models who preceded him.
Well, and Kevin, your take on this?
I think it's funny that we have this number. Remember William Jefferson? I think his name was William Jefferson, the black guy who had $90,000 in his refrigerator.
Oh, yes, in his it was in his freezer.
In his freezer, yeah. Right, in his freezer. Is $90,000 the going rate for? Yeah, right. Cold cash. Is $90,000 the going rate for slavery today? You know, the interesting part of this story to me, Janine, and Larry can certainly relate. We have a white congressman who wants his black counterpart, the guy who's going to run against him, not to do it. So he pays him off with a $90,000 bribe.
He was African American.
That's my point. The gentleman, right, the judge that was paid off happens to be a black guy. So that's Democrat politics. If I can't beat the guy, you know what I'll do? I'll just pay him off. This harkens back, and I know this is going to really make some liberals mad, but this harkens back to the days of slavery. $90,000 is a going rate for, well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah, it is. It's sad. I'm not saying it isn't true. It's horrible.
Oh, I'm just saying that's the going rate. And here's the problem. The judge who thinks he's going to run for this office, he probably thought, I'm doing this on behalf of black people. So what he said to all the blacks who invested in his race was, I'm willing to sell you out for $90,000 to pay off my campaign fees and have a little chump change left over.
All right, Larry, let's talk about the fact that it seems like so many Democrats are in trouble right now. You know, and at the same time, it appears that a lot of the criticism that was initially waged against or aimed at Democrats, whether it's Donna Brazile or, you know, this New York Times writer who says, you know, Al Franken's got to resign, and then the next day she says, I'm changing my mind. Is there a concern on the part of those Democrats that the more they talk about corruption by the Democrats, whether it's sexual harassment or buying seats, that they're going to lose their politics and their political power in Washington?
Well, what's happened is that the Democrats have been exposed as hypocrites on the issue of sexual harassment. You have Bill Clinton, who was credibly accused by 3 women, according to a book called No One Left to Lie To, of rape. You have Hillary, who was credibly accused by Juanita Broaddrick of intimidating an alleged rape survivor, and they got a pass. And that's not going to happen anymore. And in Philadelphia, as I mentioned, it's one of the most corrupt cities in the country. They had an 11-term congressman just indicted and charged and thrown out of office. And the city is Democrat, Republican, 7-1, a completely Democratic city, totally run. They can do whatever they want. And I mentioned they had all these council persons on tape. Nobody got charged.
Okay, but
it's incredible.
It is incredible. But what is incredible to me right now is that initially there was Kirsten Gillibrand from New York, and she's like, shame on Bill Clinton. Right. We should have done something about it. And then when she's asked whether or not Al Franken should resign, she won't answer the question.
Right.
Donna Brazile Brazil comes out and she says, you know, this is horrible. What the Clintons did was horrible. And then all of a sudden it seems that she's now trying to make nice with the Clintons. Right. There is this. All of a sudden, there's this change in by the Democrats where they are not as critical of Democrats who are violating any moral code or laws, because it appears that it looks like their power base is being affected.
Judge, they don't know what to do. That's their problem. See, with conservatives, if these things happen, we react. We don't care who the person is. If Donald Trump had done what Al Franken or some of these other people had done, we would have reacted identically the same. Our moral core stays complete. To Larry's point, not only are the Democrats bad when it comes to the issue of sexual harassment, they're bad on every other policy. Look at their policy on immigration. You can find 50 high-level Democrats who said we need to secure the borders for all the reasons that Donald Trump says. You could find 50 high-level Democrats during the time of Obama that said we need to look at our Muslim refugee resettlement program, and so on and so forth. All they care about is who's in power. And so right now they're living on the muscle memory. They don't know, do the Clintons still have power or do they not? And that's what you're seeing. They don't know for sure.
Well, but what it does seem, Larry, and you can feed off of that one, but it does seem that the Clinton power has dissipated. But at the same time, there's a little reluctance to go all the way. Could it be that if a senator resigns like Al Franken, that maybe, you know, if there's a Republican governor, the Republican governor gets to a point that this is not about women. It's not about their moral core. It's about rank politics. It's about power and money, and it has nothing to do with a moral compass.
Well, as Kevin pointed out, the Democrats don't know what to do, Judge. The revelations of Harvey Weinstein, so blatant, they can no longer ignore them. If you're going to go after Judge Roy Moore, how come you didn't go after Bill Clinton? How come you didn't go after Hillary? How come you haven't gone after Al Franken? How come you haven't gone after John Conyers? They are now caught in their hypocrisy. And recall, after Kathleen Willey claimed that she was groped by Bill Clinton, a feminist named Gloria Steinem wrote a column and said, even if you believe what Kathleen Willey said is true, that's not sexual harassment because Bill Clinton stopped after he was told to stop. Are you kidding me? This is the pretzel into which the left twisted themselves to defend the Clintons, and now the chickens have come home to roost.
And how is that going to impact the 2018s, Kevin?
They're going to get crushed. You know what's funny? Every time I hear these leftists, they talked about the wins that they just recently had with the governors, which were expected wins, but they've learned no lessons. And Larry's pointing out the hypocrisy. We do it every day on our radio shows and you name it, but the Democrats don't learn. And the problem they're having, Judge, is they still don't understand where the power structure is. So they're still trying to weed out, do the Clintons still have power? Does Obama have any power? In fact, I heard they're going to bring Bill Clinton out to campaign. Somebody wants Clinton to campaign in 2018.
I don't get it. Larry, do you get it? I mean, I don't know if the Clintons are in or out. Obama, and by the way, Brazil went after Obama today. I mean, it just keeps going.
Right.
They don't know who they are.
Bill Clinton is... Politically, Bill Clinton is dead man walking. He's toast now. They can no longer ignore allegations made by Juanita Broaddrick. And more importantly, Judge, Hillary has still never been asked, to my knowledge, did you or did you not verbally intimidate this alleged rape survivor, as Juanita Broaddrick alleges? I've never heard her ask that question.
Well, you know why they're not asking her that question? Because she's still trying to figure out why she lost in 2016. She came up with another excuse today. I can't keep track of it. And you know what? I keep telling her, just go back in the woods, Hillary, enough.
Well, Judge, one other quick point. So why aren't they asking Barack Obama to campaign? That's what Donna Brazile is essentially saying. You know, it's funny. She gave him credit for saving America, but she won't bring him out to campaign. And she explained he lost all these seats. The Democrats have nothing. This is a fun time for conservatives. Enjoy, people.
Yep, he lost all the seats, and he left the DNC broke. Anyway, all right, Larry, Kevin, thanks for being with us.